it. So usually what I do is I listen, if I'm going to listen to an audiobook or like a duo read, format read, I don't know, somebody come up with a term. I don't know how to explain this. Welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on the floor and we talk about everything and all things books. Alright, so some exciting things. So bear with me, I have a new phone and I have a microphone now in my phone, so let me know. Hopefully it sounds okay, so let me know if it doesn't. And in some different kind of lighting, so because I have a new phone, I'm trying to figure out the lighting, so just bear with me. So hopefully everything turns out. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about my March reading plans. I've been in a slump these first 2 months of the year. January was actually really good, so I would say February is a little bit, I felt a little blah kind of month. So really looking forward to getting started here. So to get started, so Jen from the Book Refuge, she is hosting, and I forget what other creators are also co-hosting with her, but she is hosting a romance takeover readathon March 6th through the 12th. So kind of going to be doing that probably this month as well. It's for that week. Where you just try to read as much romance as possible, and they do have some prompts and such, so I think most of these prompts will kind of fall into that, along with my physical TBR challenges. So I also have one from the library to pick up, so that should also follow with the prompt. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to read in a week. I'm a little bit of a slow reader and a mood reader, so it's gonna be interesting. Alright, so to start off, these are kind of like my priority reads are about 4 here physically with me, and as I mentioned, I have one waiting for me, the physical one at my local library to go pick up. So the first one here is a contemporary romance, is The Vow by Maggie Cole. I was recently read the first one. It's part of the duet called The Auction. And I was so lucky. I actually won a PR box giveaway. I want to say end of January, beginning of February. Yeah. So yeah, I got for both of these. So like The Auction, The Vow. I got a cool little postcard there, and then a bookmark. So I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful for it. So this is a billionaire romance. It is also has some like BDSM kind of, I think like dom sub kind of trope there, and it's forbidden. It is a dad's business partner, and the second one, as you can kind of tell, I believe they are married remember from the first one, so I'll have to get myself a little bit refreshed. So the first one, The Auction, released February 1st, and then this one is supposed to be releasing March 1st, but the author actually released it early. I believe like February 24th it was released, so I believe it's on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, it should be available to read. So I rated the first one 4 stars, really liked it, and I'm looking forward to the second one. Next, I am showing the physical copy, Neon Gods. This is a reread. I am currently about 40 to 50% in the audiobook, and I've been wanting to reread this because I want to read the second one, Electric Idol. So this is a Hades and Persephone by Katie Robert, part of her Neon Gods series, I think that's actually what it's called. And it's kind of like, it's an urban fantasy, very high spice. So urban fantasy is very low, like it's set in like modern times, and it's a very low magic kind of system. And I want to say, so it feels more contemporary, I guess is the best way to describe that. So I'm kind of mainly listening it to an audiobook, but I do like to I wish there was a better term for this, duo read. So you read a physical copy or an ebook copy, and then also like listen to the audiobook. So yeah, so I actually downloaded I did a 7-day free trial, but I am part of the AnyPlay subscription, so I subscribe to that. Based upon Jen the Book Refuge, she did a video a few weeks ago regarding talking about AnyPlay and how it's like a different option than Audible. And so yeah, I usually like to go on the Libby app, so which is basically you can get like audiobooks and ebooks from your library, or you can get it from Hoopla as well. And yeah, so I usually do it that way. And if it's not on there, I usually just been doing it on AnyPlay. So I do know this is on AnyPlay. My library did not have the audiobook, or if it did, I think there was like a hold on it and such. So yeah. So Hades and Persephone, really liking this one. This one is Electric Idol. It's the second one. This is following Psyche and Eros. I think Eros is kind of like the bespoke assassin. Psyche is one of Persephone's sisters. And yeah, because I have Wicked Beauty and the fourth one, Radiant Sin, just released. And so I've been like wanting to make sure that I pick those up. So yeah, so I've been wanting to, it's been about a year since I read the first one. So I tend to prefer to read series either back to back or at least like a month in between. I don't want it to go too far in between, or I feel like I forget. Like I have like the worst memory, it feels like. So yeah, so that's we're looking forward to reading this. Been really a fan of this series by Katie Robert. I think this is really the only thing I read by her. The other one, The Vampire Queen or whatever that bind up with the novellas, I wasn't a fan of that one. But I did like, the only novellas I've liked is her, I'll put a picture up here, is her monster romance that I read. I think this one was like a dragon type one. So I want to continue on that series as well. Yeah, if you have been around here for a while, you know that I do not like, I tend not to like novellas, let's just say. I always feel like I need more. Want more from it. And then part of a read along that I host with April from Happily Ever April, I will put link her down below. I will also link the live the premiere live link for this as well. This month is going to be hosted on my channel, and we kind of like flip-flop and back and forth. So we are basically reading some vintage historical romances by Joy Hannah Lindsey, and specifically this year we're doing the Mallory Anderson series. So we read the first one in January, the second one in February, and this time we were reading the third one, which is Gentle Rogue. My copy here is I ordered off from Barnes & Noble. This was a republished recently into like the mass paperback max version, and I think they only, as far as I know, I think they only did this one because I believe this is like one of her most populars of that series. I do recall reading this years ago. I do remember really liking it. This follows James Mallory, and who is like the pirate captain, and I believe the main heroine here, I can't remember what her name is, Georgina, or I think she goes by Georgie too, stows away dressed up as like a cabin boy onto his ship, but really he already knows. So with all the hijinks that kind of ensue in their romance. So vintage historicals, especially Joy Hannah Lindsey, it's a very bodice ripper type romances, and it's kind of like a bygone kind of era or type of writing. It's not as like a modern historical romance. So a lot of bonkers and hijinks and consent, non-consent was ran rampant back then too as well. So really looking forward to that. We are having ours, it's going to be on March 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Time on my channel. So yeah, I'll link that down below when I do get that link. All right, so next, so I don't have very many this year, this month. Because I tend to only read maybe 10 to 12. I think this past month I might have read maybe 7 to 8. So I'm trying to not put too much pressure on myself. With these 4, I do also have, as I mentioned, picking up a book from the library, and that is from the, oh my gosh, the Gemini series Academy. I will put a picture up here. I don't know why I totally just blanked on what the series is. This is the Zodiac Academy. See, I got it. Zodiac Academy. This is the first one. From far as I understand, it's kind of 2 sisters and twin sisters, and they find out that they're like Fae royalty, and they go to the school. And here's kind of like a bully romance as well, so I really know nothing to be honest, but that's so far kind of like the gist that I've gotten. And apparently there's like 9 books in the series, so it seems a little intimidating, and as far as I understand, those books are really thick as well. So okay, so future editing Crystal here. I forgot to mention that I do have at least one arc that I wanted to read for the month of March. Sarah Kate is releasing the 4th book, I think it's the 4th book in the Highest Bidder series, and her Highest Bidder and her Salacious Players Club series. And I am on Sarah Kate's arc team. I joined the arc team for Mercy, which was the previous book. So I'm hopefully getting a copy. Usually they send out like an e-arc copy 1 or 2 weeks before the release date. So this is releasing March 24th, and it should be available on Kindle Unlimited as well. So, and right now it is releasing, the physical copy is releasing with the person cover, in which that man is gorgeous, like gorgeous. And so yeah, she's releasing it with the people covers, and then when she's also being traditionally published for this series, so praise is already out for the alternate cover. So I would definitely highly recommend, if you like this series, or you want a physical copy of the book, that you order it as soon as it like releases, because Eyes on Me is today, which is the 28th of February. Just is like today's last day to order that one. So that's the second one. So alright, so that's all I had. Back to your regular schedule of programming. So the last 2 here are my physical TBR challenges that I have going on for this whole year. And this first drawing is where I will draw for a historical romance author from my unread shelf here. It's like huge. Because I really want to make that as a mission to read 50 books of historical romances this year. So yeah, I have a little teacup jar. And we will, oh, that's unraveled. Interesting. I did not put in, and once I get new books, I also tend to put the new author in there if I don't have them in there before. So yeah, I will draw an author, and that is Karen Rennie. You can tell I know my books here. I think it's probably right here. Oh, right up here. I have one. Well, that kind of sucks. So we'll see. Alright, so Karen Rennie. So we got this. It's called The English Duke. And this looks like to be following Jordan Hamilton is, okay, Martha York and Jordan Hamilton. He's a new Duke of Roth, and he's the protege of her inventor father. Oh, has he been writing to her? So she travels to the Duke's estate to carry out her father's last bequest. She's been fascinated by him for years, and can he live up to his letters? And apparently he does. He's working on a prototype, and they work together. Ooh, a case of mistaken identity may leave him bound to another. Oh, okay. Okay. So this sounds really interesting. So yeah, let me know if you've read this. I haven't read it, so that's that'll be interesting. So that's only one for this month. I will see if I do end up having time. Usually I try to read all my historicals in 1 week. If I end up having time, I'll draw another one, or I'll just pick one that I want to read that it kind of intrigues me if I have time on my shelf that I haven't read, and yeah, and you'll just find out in my recent reads how it goes. Gotta keep it a little interesting, you know. All right, final one is my one shelf challenge. So this is where I draw out my shelf on my IKEA shelves that holds a lot of young adult and fantasy, and my book haul shelf as well that I haven't shelved yet. So yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I will put this back here, and this. Oh, this is also the turquoise. So it's my top shelf up here. So I have my IKEA shelves, and then I have my top shelf up here because it doesn't have the historicals. So let me move you up and we'll take a look at the shelf. All right, so this is my shelf, my top of my turquoise shelf. We go here. So I have read these years ago, I believe. I read this. Have not read that one, or this one, or that one. Sensing a theme here. And I haven't read these. And I've read this in audiobook, but I kind of feel like I need to reread that. This is Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. That actually might be a contender. This is like a special edition that I got off of a recognition site from my work. So that actually might be a contender. Sophie Kinsella, Can You Keep It Secret? I have read that years ago. Den of Vipers, I think I read a couple of years ago on Kindle Unlimited, and I found this copy at a library, so this is really good. I rated it 4 stars. It's not for everybody. Apocalyptic, this is one of my favorites that I reread years ago. I read these several times. These are one of my all-time favorites. This is the Bride Quartet series by Nora Roberts. Read that. I read this. This is like a 2 stories in one ballet romances. Ooh, these are a contender as well. This is the Circle trilogy, and I haven't read these, so by Nora Roberts. So we might put this off here. At least read. I might want to read the first one. And I got this on that same site as well. And yeah, so these 2 I haven't read. Obviously, I've read this. This is the Bridgerton epilogue book that I reread 1,000 times, I feel like. So yeah, I think these are the 2 books that I think I want to go with. I might also, Book Lovers might be an option. So I haven't read Beach Read either, but I feel like depending on the synopsis. So these, and then there's also Lorraine Heath hardcover edition. Oh my gosh, there's so many choices. How do I make a decision? How can I make a decision? Oh goodness, okay. This is why, guys. This is why. Okay, so I will, these are gonna be the ones that I'm just gonna, whatever the mood strikes, you let me know in the comments which ones you're like, absolutely, you need to read that one first. So yeah, definitely let me know. So those are the ones I'm going to be reading. I don't know how many, but we'll get at least 1 or 2. I'm hoping at least get through 2. So, all right, so there you have it. Turquoise T1 all those options, I have no idea how I'm going to decide. I really don't. I have no idea. But this is why we're doing this. So I read the books that I already have. All right. So yeah, a lot of books. A lot of books. It's a little overwhelming. All right, so that is it. So yeah, please let me know which ones you think I should read. That would your input would be greatly appreciated. Because I get a little bit of paralysis of the analysis, so it's gonna be interesting. All right, so yes, you let me know down below which ones you think I should read, especially from my one shelf challenge. And yeah, I will see you next time.